Okay, I am here with my grandpa and my grandma. Let me quickly press mute on this before it starts. Okay, well, it didn't start. Okay, so you guys have been married for how long?
48 years.
48 years of marriage. Wow. Okay, here the sound started. Okay. All right. Well, what made it successful for you guys?
I'll let Grandma give her thoughts.
I was 20 years of age when I met him. I asked a Catholic young man, prayed through Mary, and asked if she would send me somebody who was very sensitive, caring, and very Catholic oriented. And we met in January, dated once. He left for vacation for a week. He came back, and we dated every week till August 8th of 1968, and we got married within 8 months.
Wow, very soon.
I would say what I saw in him was a sense of humor, his good heart, his caringness, his laughter, and I fell in love with him right away.
So I had a little more hair back in 1968, and I don't know if that made any difference, but I think we both came into our marriage with a commitment to each other and a commitment to God, and this was our sacrament, and we treated it as a sacrament. We always invited God to be a part of this. And during the hard times, which turned out to be the good times, we always knew that he was there for us. But, we never, for 48 years, we had some rules that we lived by. One was we never went to sleep being mad at each other. We always made sure that before we went to sleep, we made up or apologized or whatever. We also had rules. Communication was probably the biggest key to our marriage. We attended a marriage encounter weekend, which was life-changing for both of us because it taught us how to be able to express our feelings to each other in a way that they were non-threatening and accepting.
Yeah, right.
And so we learned some of the rules of marriage. One is fight. You're going to fight because that's just part of communicating. It's part of being human.
Right.
But we had some rules for fighting. One, anything that was over 48 hours old was ancient history. You couldn't bring it up. You couldn't fight about it. No name calling, and you can't talk about each other's family. The other one, which was probably the most important one, was when you're fighting, you have to hold hands. And part of that is remember what you're fighting for is your relationship with each other.
Right.
And it's never the issue. I think the other thing for me is when I was holding her hand, she couldn't hit me. So I like that too.
That's true.
Grandma's pretty strong.
She is pretty strong.
So what was the first impressions you both got from each other?
The first time I met him at his mother's house, he was different than what I heard what he was like. He was.
She was a very shy, quiet individual. Was introverted. You earlier that she prayed to the Blessed Virgin for a husband, and so in a lot of ways I was honored because and as I think about it, I really didn't have a choice in this. The Blessed Virgin said, "This is brought me to this," but she just had and still does. She's a very kind, generous person, more generous and kind than anybody would know. And that's been some of her qualities. She's always been very devout in her faith. And when I wanted to not go to church and sleep in. She was always the one that said, no, when we need to go. Now, the other part of this is we got older. When she wanted to sleep in, I was the one that said, no,
That's true.
we need to go. And I think that lesson for us was part of your marriage is to help each other get to heaven.
Yes.
That's part of what the responsibility is. And so throughout our married life, we've done that. We've helped each other. Perhaps when we were needing that kind of help or encouragement.
Right. So what are the strengths that marriage has given both of you from needing each other and being together for so long?
There's a deeper love that at first it's physical more of love, but as the years go on, it's more of a deep relationship with God and with your spouse. We always put God as the center, and always He came first. And you do not have to date someone for a long time to get to know them. You just know when it's the right one.
Right.
And you remain chaste until that time. And we did. Until our wedding night.
Well, I don't know how long you need to know somebody and all of that business. For us, it was 8 months, but
His family.
yeah. See, we both knew each other's families, and we knew where we came from, and we knew the family, and so it was a small town in western Kansas. So, you knew the pedigree, and
Correct.
depending on individuals and whatever is their preference and what works for them and what's God's plan for them. And so everybody, what I guess what I'm saying in a long drawn out way is everybody's got to follow their own path and how they get to there.
Correct.
And our path is not the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite part about being married?
We can spend time now with each other, more time as we get older. Busy with raising kids and everything else, that we have more time that we can sit and talk and enjoy being around each other the way it was before. That's the part I like most, and also going to church together, praying together. He always kisses me, goes sing with me, and coming home, he'll call me before he comes home, always has. We always tell each other all the time so we can beat each other, I love you. So that person knows, and they know it, and be truthful and honest. But you've got to have a sense of humor and laugh at each other and tell jokes and laugh at yourself. I think that makes a big difference. And I see marriage as there's times to go through the hard times. It's like a job. But I saw it as a job, not a how successful you want to be in your job, okay? And what you want for your family. So what do? You work hard, climb that ladder to have a better life for you and your family. And that's how I see it. And that's same as marriage. You have to give not 50-50, but 100 and 100 to each other, and always forgive. And that you're going to have those hard times, the fun times too. You look back at it and think, wow, that was more of a simple life.
Right.
Worthwhile is worth working for.
Right.
And a marriage is no different. You're going to get out of your marriage how much effort you put into it.
Correct.
And when we got married, I promised that we made each other. And when we said, for better or for worse, until death do you part, we meant it.
Yeah.
And we kept our vows. If you work at it, you can do it. I jokingly tell people that, the keys to a long marriage is just this: no matter what happens, and I say, I'm sorry, it's my fault. She backs the car into the garage door. I am sorry, I should have been out there to tell her the garage door was down, and it's my fault. By doing that, what we found over the years, we laugh about stuff as a result of that. When we say that, well, yeah, it's my fault, I should have done it, we both laugh. And the things that we thought were really big issues and serious when we were younger aren't. And I think as you get older, you learn that and you gain the wisdom of it. You know, we try to keep the romance alive in our relationship.
Right.
You know, she'll bring me a card, put it in my briefcase. So when I get to the office, I'll find this nice card, this love letter. Note.
Grandma, that's really cute.
He does that to me too. And I give him flowers, and he'll come home and he'll give me flowers for no reason. You know, that's what's important. To keep that love and to care about each other and to take care of each other.
Right.
And you know, I trained him well after 40 years. I really think.
But I'm still a husband in training after 40 years, is what you told me. But the focus in our marriage is on each other, not on self.
Right.
And when you do that, then the things that make me happy are when I see her happy. So that's
really
that's
cute.
what we work towards.
And the same thing here. And with 5 children, we have 23 grandchildren, which is a blessing from God. We never thought we'd have it, but that's what is important, really important than anything else, the material things, money, whatever. It's family and closeness and all that.
So what is your advice for young couples that are courting and getting ready for marriage? What is a word of advice for you guys?
Advice is, I don't know whether, for both the young man and the young woman, respect each other.
Yes.
Always, first and foremost. Always be loving, be kind. Don't be selfish, and try not to be selfish in the relationship. Towards some common goal together. The goal is to keep your faith strong. And you know, people come into your life, and they may not always stay in your life.
That's true.
But eventually the right person will come and will stay. And so be selective. You know, there's that old saying, you're judged by the company you keep. You know, set your standards high. Keep your company faith. Most people are. You know, find people who are compatible with you.
Oh, yeah.
And have those same kind of values and morals, and it makes life a lot easier. Married, it makes your marriage a lot easier too.
Yeah, because when we were younger and married and had children, we hung around people who had the same values as us in marriage. Because there were some people that they did divorce, didn't have the same values as us, but we felt like to make our marriage stronger, you have to people that share the same.
Yeah, and I would tell the young man, always be a gentleman. Always be a gentleman. You know, I'm old school. I still open up the door
He does.
grandma,
Anywhere.
wherever we are. And when I was younger, I thought it was easier for me to be self-centered. And there was a lot of times that I was. I realized that. So little things and sort of changing my thinking. There was a paradigm shift in my thinking. Right. Instead of doing something because it's easiest for me, I would think about, well, if she's got to pick up the toys, that means work for her. And if I do it, then she doesn't have to do it. Knowing that I was doing something that then she wouldn't have to do. And when I was younger, it was like, so what if she's going to pick them up, you know? But as I got older, I went, you know, I wanted her life to be as good as life as I could make it. I wanted her to be happy, and I wanted to do things so that she wouldn't have to do things, because she carried a lot early in our marriage, and I learned a lot. And you grow up, you know, you grow up.
You do.
So what's your favorite memory together?
Well, hers may be a different one than mine, so I'm going to let her go first.
Oh my gosh. Probably the day we got married. And we went up there and they had a mass and everything else. And they gave us last blessings and we're walking out of church and we knew that we'd become one. Like the saying goes, mother and father, and you become one with your wife or spouse or husband. So that's probably my most memorable one. I've got many, but that's probably the first one. Roses, the first week we were married. And I still have the rose in the Bible.
That's so
And I
sweet.
saved.
Really?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I do. It's at home in the Bible. It sure is.
Well, there are numerous best memories, and it's hard for me to distill one down. As I look back at, I mean, there are just so many wonderful memories that we've had, birth of grandchildren, the marriage of our kids, the sacraments.
Sacraments mean a lot to us.
That does mean a lot to us. And as you know, Caitlin, we have 23 grandchildren.
Yeah, you made it to every single sacrament.
Every single
We've been to 23 baptisms.
Yep.
We've been to probably communion.
Yes.
About 8 or 10 confirmations.
Yes.
Yep.
And we've been to one funeral of our grandchildren. So, and we've had to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we live thousands of miles away. The reason that we came to every one of this is off the question, but the reason we every sacrament of our grandchildren is twofold. One, it was important to us to be there when they were making their sacraments.
Yeah.
We wanted
Yes.
them to know that. And then two, we wanted them to know that their faith and are important to them as well.
Right.
And so we wanted to be a part of that. But I think a memory in terms of with Grandma, there are so many, but our wedding day, and I don't know whether this was in vogue back then or not, but after the wedding the mass had concluded, and before we left, Grandma had a bouquet of roses that she took over and put on Our Lady's altar in front of her statue.
Yeah.
She's always had a deep devotion to the Blessed Virgin, and that stuck with me. Favorite things that I always remember about her is her devotion to the Blessed Mary, and her taking those roses over there. I thought that was, and they sang Ave Maria, which was absolutely incredible. Memories of her, I have a lot of good memories of her, and we have some memories of some tough times. It's not always roses and hugs. There's a lot of other things that go into it.
And you got to remember, when you do fight, it's because you grow in your relationship, and you're fighting for your
That's exactly
relationship.
Right.
And always keep God in the center of your life. He's on top, and there's a couple on the side. And all through your life, you just follow that. Everything falls into place.
Well, we always try to have fun. A good sense of humor takes you a long way. Flexibility,
Yes.
adaptability, and a good sense of humor will serve you really well.
It does. And laugh at yourself. And accept your spouse and think, well, I can change them and accept them the way they are, with all the flaws. Love them.
Well, and I think that's the other thing that I would tell young people. When you go into a relationship, what you see is what you get. You're not going to go into a relationship and go, okay, I'm going to change this person to have them be this way or that way. That doesn't work. What you see is what you get. And if you're happy with that, and if it's meant to be, and I think you really need to be careful about that, because Grandma comes from a family of 12 kids. I come from a family of 12 kids. All 12 of her brothers and sisters and mine are still married or have married until their spouse passed or until they both passed. So the commitment was, once you say that vow, you're committed for the rest of your life to that. It's not, gee, I'm committed until I find somebody else.
Right.
And so the advice is be careful. What you see is what you get. And it makes you feel complete and great, by all means, give further consideration to it. But if it's not, you're not going to change them.
And share the same things, whether it's golfing or.
She didn't share golfing when we were first married.
No, I didn't, but I did golf before I met him.
Yeah, well, and the other thing I
We didn't have
learned
the money.
is you can't ever teach your wife how to play golf. So I'll tell you a little
Do
story.
not do that.
Grandma and I were playing golf. We were playing with the Episcopal minister and his wife.
Yes.
And so Grandma was lined up on this tee box to hit the ball. She was going to hit it right in the water, right in the water. So I went up there and I said, now, Grandma, I think if you turn just this way a little bit, you probably will have a better result with your drive. If I want your damn advice, I'll ask for it. The Episcopal minister looked at me and he said, Garrett, I don't think she wants your advice. And so I quit giving advice on the golf course.
Because when he quit doing that, then I would ask, okay, am I standing right? Which way I need to move? But no woman or man wants to be told, well, do this on this side. Blah, 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 blah.
So
Doesn't work.
not giving advice also translated beyond golf. Because sometimes she didn't want to hear what advice I
That's
had.
true.
But if she asked me for it, then I knew it was safe.
And the same way with me, you didn't like some advice I gave you.
Well, I still don't like it.
Like today with
That's true.
That's right. Today we drive.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. You're right.
Yep.
But we laugh.
Yeah, we do. We do. There's a whole lot of things that both Grandma and I have learned in our lives. And, one of the things that we learned was
Yes,
and we look at it, it's either going to be a blessing or a blessing.
that is true.
And as we got older, some things we learned kind to people
Oh, yes.
because you don't know how long they have. And, there are many times there are no second chances in life.
No.
So if it's something that is only going to happen once, like a sacrament, like an event, a wedding or a birthday, or something, show up.
Yeah.
Life is not always easy.
No.
You get by. You maintain your knows what he's doing because he does. What we do know is what God wants for us is what's best for us.
Right.
Now, sometimes we don't know how painful that best for
That's
us
true.
is, but we still know that it is best for us.
Should be God should be doing this for us. But we learn a long time. He's going to do it the way he wants to do
Well,
it. And at his time.
We've made plans and then God laughs and goes, that ain't gonna
Yeah,
happen. And we learn that's not gonna happen. But we've had so many wonderful years, and we hope it's God's plan that we are together for
Yes,
a long, long time.
that's true.
Now the most important question.
All right.
Am I your favorite grandchild?
Hayden Boswell is my favorite granddaughter.
Yes. Yes.
In Texas.
Take that, Ella.
You gotta be careful. You got another granddaughter.
I've got Ella, but of course,
Yeah.
they're all my favorites.
You got
I got Hayden, I got Lily who live here in Texas, and all the boys.
So here's the way I'm gonna answer this.
Favorites.
This is my favorite granddaughter on this video.
Yes. Finally.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
I see that sour look you're giving me,
I
Ella.
do tell all the boys that they're my favorite until they get
It's true.
together and they say, Grandma
Yeah.
said, Nana said that.
Don't do that.
I gotta be careful.
It ends really well, like family reunions.
Oh, yeah.
all
Yeah,
fight each other.
everybody's saying, I'm grandma's favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't work.
You guys have like merchandise, like cookie jars from your
Yes.
Let's say like Nana's favorite.
Yes.
So what we,
That's
yeah,
Sure.
what we do is
some kids.
when that family comes to visit, we set that stuff out.
Yeah.
So when another family, then we put it away. When another family comes, it's their stuff.
Yeah.
Because we love every one of them.
And when I have this shirt and it's got all 23 grandkids on it, I wear it when that particular person who bought it for me, it was their kids down.
And the running joke was every time you got one of those shirts, somebody would get pregnant.
Yes, that's right. They had to get a new one.
So,
It's true.
the thing that I learned about having 23 grandchildren, and I learned this far too late, having grandchildren, you for birth presents
Right.
for each grandchild. Now, what I learned too late is that it have to always be the same for every grandchildren. Go down.
No.
My advice to people is whenever you get married and you have kids and your kids start having kids and grandchildren, start low on the presents because you can always go up.
Right.
But if we were going to be blessed
Have
with
20
23 grandchildren, I mean,
That's true.
it's incredible. We're proud of all of our grandchildren.
We're very
I'm particularly proud of you, Cam.
Yes, and what you do.
Thank you.
We really are impressed with your ministry and on Instagram and strong conviction about saving our children and
Oh, yeah, that's important.
and the unborn. We continue to pray for your success with
Thank
those.
you.
It's very impressive.
Oh, we pray all the time.
Yeah. Questions of us?
Let's see. Funniest moment.
The fun is a lot, but pick one that
Well,
sticks.
be careful. There's a PG program.
It is.
All right. So what's the funniest moment?
The one when he was busy time, he was the dog catcher.
I got paid $10 more a month to do
And
that.
you know what?
And it was an animal control officer, not a dog.
Okay, same thing. So what happened, I was Renee was, our third child was about 8 months old or so, so I was wanted to blend her because she would need the baby food. Here he comes home with his box, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's a blender. And so he holds Renee, who's 8 months at that time. I opened the box, and this doggone squirrely looking chicken comes right out. He was the heck out of me, and he's laughing. And Renee's laughing. Oh, and I didn't get a blender. You couldn't afford it.
So, Grandma and I were living in Hayes, Kansas. And at that time, I was going to college. Grandma was working as a ward clerk at the hospital. And I worked as an orderly in the psychiatric unit. She worked from 3 to 11. I worked from 11 to 7. And then I went to school in the morning. I would come back home. And basically, I would. We had a little baby at that time. So I'd come to the hospital with the baby, hand him off to her. She would go home. I'd come home. So it was an interesting time. Well, our car had broke down. So I took it into this dealership. And, well, we have a vehicle that you can use this weekend, and gave us the kind of car it was. And so I told Joyce, I said, the keys will be in it. I said, pick this up when you get off work, and we're going to be using this vehicle. So we drove it all weekend long. We took it back on Monday because they had our car fixed. And then I read in the local newspaper, stolen from the car dealer. And had been reported stolen on a Friday. And we had a stolen car all week because Grandma got the wrong car.
Oh,
Thank goodness we didn't get arrested because
Almost got Grandpa arrested.
I would have been arrested.
yeah, so grand theft auto right
You know what? When I married Gary, the thing he told me, you're a grandpa. And it will never be a dull moment. And it has not been for either one of us. in the 48 years.
Favorite grandparents.
Yeah.
I can't pick favorites, but
Oh, in Texas.
In Texas,
Texas right now, you
Yeah.
guys.
There you go. There you go.
That's
Of
fair.
course.
Very
And
good.
you're blessed to have wonderful grandparents on the other side of that.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely. I'm your favorite.
Grandma B, if you're watching this, we love you too.
That's exactly right.
That's true. That's very true.
All family reunions are a lot of fun getting together.
Oh yeah, that's what's fun too. We figure we try to talk to each other and say, okay, which two are gonna fight first? So we come up with have the fighting done first for the family reunion.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
no, actually, we have an itinerary for the family reunion,
And that's all.
and we schedule the family fight.
Yep.
So they get that over with first, and we don't know who's going to participate in it. We know it's going to happen. That's just the nature of us.
Right.
I think those are some of my favorite memories, being all together and
It
kitchen
is.
with all the
Yeah.
aunts and
Yeah.
your grandma.
Yes, that was always fun.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Telling ghost stories.
There's only how many granddaughters? Only 7?
Eight granddaughters, 15 boys. Let me tell you,
15
the
granddaughters.
girls can control the boys. And with them in shape.
And that's exactly where our marriage is too.
It's pretty chaotic.
When you first get married, it's like there's one always more dominant than the other. And in ours, it was him.
Well, wait a minute.
It
Wait
was.
a minute, Kaylin, she's not quite accurate about
I
that.
am too.
But in a relationship, usually there seems to be one that's a little more dominant than the other in a relationship. 7 years of our
Wow.
marriage. During the first 12 years of our marriage, 7 years of our marriage,
12.
I kind of thought I was that person. I thought I was sort of the dominant one in the relationship. The 7th year that it dawned on me that not only was I not the dominant one in a relationship, I had never been, but she let me think I was.
Right.
So she's a lot smarter than I am.
Well, that's very nice to say. But I think I grew my relationship. Well, you do. You grow in your relationship. You just go to different levels in your relationship.
So what level am I in this game?
You got a PhD now.
Oh, okay.
I finally got to.
So
He got
my
asked.
husband drank?
He said, if I ever die, will you marry again? And I said, no. Because it would take a long time to retrain another guy.
Things that are not
Any
okay.
questions?
Did either of you feel a call to religious life / priesthood before marriage? And somebody said the audio is a little bit strange. Okay. But the first question.
All right, so yes, when it comes to the question, were you ever called to religious life or felt like you had a calling? As a matter of fact, I did. A missionary, and I thought I wanted to be the Society of the Divine Word in Wisconsin in my freshman year of high school. I learned that wasn't my calling, and learning was there was an all-girls schools across the lake from us, and there were 2 girls came over into our side of the lake in a canoe. Seminary blew the whistle. We had to all go back inside the seminary, and the 2 girls, he was telling them this is private property. They had to go back over to the other side of the lake. These seminarians would go to the movies in town. And so the 2 girls said, well, they were just there to see Gary Hope, and I wanted to say hello. So the prefect came to visit with me that next day. And he says, Gary, I'm not sure this is your calling. And I says, I don't think it is either. And so at the end of that year, which was a week away, and one of the hardest things was telling my mom that this really wasn't. I respected everybody that was there and what they were doing, but I found out this just wasn't for me. And maybe part of that was I was a little too young to be there. I left home whenever I was 12 years old to go there. And I think I was just too young to know really what I wanted to do. And sometimes I think I might have been there because I was trying to please my mom more than but I really knew what I wanted to do. I was too young to know.
Great grandpa or great grandma, she always sent all her sons to the seminary, right?
Well, there was, let's see, 5 of us that went to the seminary. She hoped that she would love to have 5 priests in the family.
Right.
And great grandma was, very devout, but that wasn't the calling for us. And we all learn, and you all have to find your own path. And you can't do something or try to live up to something. You got to know it. That's right for you.
I thought about and going to the Dominican Sisters. Yeah, it was one there in Great Bend, and prayed about it, but never materialized. It wasn't meant.
Would have chose the religious life, I wouldn't have been here.
That's true.
That is
true. Yep. So, thank goodness we chose wisely.
Yes.
Yes.
That is true.
Let me see anything else was said. Oh, nope, I think that was it. Okay. Well, thank you for being on my show.
Oh, we enjoyed it.
Kaylin, it's been a delight.
Yes.
Now we're off to make chocolate mice.
Yes.
That's right. And then off to see the Christmas lights.
Yep.
That's right. We're having fun.
So thank y'all for watching us, and I'll see you in a bit. Oh, right. Grandpa, would you like to lead us in a closing prayer?
Sure. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Saint Michael the Archangel, all the angels, communion of saints, all holy men and women, please pray for all of Kaylin's followers and for all of our families, that they be protected from all evil and harm, cured of all infirmities and diseases, strong in their faith, and that the petitions that they have are granted, and for the blessings that you've shared upon all of them and all of us, we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Father, and Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.
Oh, right. Okay. And tonight, in about a little less than 45 minutes, I'll be having a former Miss America contestant on. So stay tuned.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone.